There you go. We're live.
All right,
Okay, we're good. We're good.
10,
9,
8.
7, 6, 5,
4.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys. Today you're joined with Rhayhadul,
Elliot.
And Bradley?
and this is a cappella. This is our talking podcast, and today we're gonna be talking about violence in.
No.
Can I do it?
Yeah,
Let me do
just
it.
let one of us do it, because you started, man.
Ready? Go.
Is it live?
Yeah.
It's live.
Well, we're 30 seconds into it. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome to Acapella. My name is Bradley. I'm joined here with Elliot and Rhayhadul.
All right.
Yo, what you saying?
And today we're going to be talking about violence in video games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Such a lovely topic to talk about.
Let me see.
So, with like recent, like, a lot of the time with like school shootings, I'll use as an example, like video games are mainly blamed for the violence. They're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this guy played GTA or
Before, yeah, like they find out that before they do the shooting that they're playing a game, and it's just like they blame it on that.
yeah, it's like this guy played Call of Duty for one hour a day. That's why he knew how to load a rifle and aim it at his classmates, expecting them to
let's
respawn.
get to the main topic here. Let's talk about the violence in video games, like the most popular ones.
So
Alright, well,
What how we
so we start off with GTA then.
I think when GTA came out, there was a lot of controversy because
Yeah.
it's an open world game where primarily the main focus of the game is to kill people.
Like rob banks, just get money.
Is a part of a franchise because
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto has been going for time now. So since the first one, they included combat. They included violence. It included violence from the first one, so they included kicking and fighting.
It's
So
franchised.
After years, they're gonna improve the graphics. They're gonna improve the combat and like.
Yeah,
I think it's just because like they add more stuff and it can just become more worse.
Yeah, like the whole basis of the game is like quite literally to rob and mug people and steal.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, but
It's alright, but since we have graphics now, it becomes
thing
more
is,
realistic.
people are
That's
like-
the thing.
people are like, oh yeah, it makes our kids violent, but it's rated 18, so like
Yeah, it's like just
when
don't.
when they're 18, they're old enough to know right from wrong. Like, yeah, if you give a 10-year-old Grand Theft Auto, or like a 7-year-old even, they're gonna grow up thinking that that's acceptable. So of course they're gonna have that mindset because they're young and they're susceptible to like different things and stuff.
You also have the PvP.
Yeah, like it's you kill other people, like you
Yeah.
kill innocent people, you kill guilty people, and I know
I know, like in PvP, it'll probably make some people angry. Like if they're losing a lot, it'll make them like. It could just like make them, more of a worse person. But like, yeah,
But I mean, I suppose it also comes down to like the names of games. Like I know because you got the PC game Manhunt, you got Thrill Kill, and then you've got Gears of War,
yeah.
which
But
links
what was our next?
and even Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say which one was our next one. Was it Red Dead or Mortal Kombat?
I think we're doing
You
Mortal
could just
Kombat.
do whatever you want now.
But Mortal Kombat again, what's it rated? I think it's an 18.
Yeah,
That's same.
because there's like a lot of
No, it's the same thing. What I said with the GTA, it has a franchise as well through like Mortal Kombat 0 to like.
It's been going for a long time.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just.
But it's like people are like, yeah, I admit it will probably cause people who maybe have some, like, I mean, no offense, but like to anyone who has some form of mental illness, I feel like they'll be more susceptible to the violence they witness. Like, I don't want to say ordinary because that segregates anyone who is different, and different as being okay, but it's like, if if you know right from wrong, but with like mental illness, you take in information better, or you take information in differently, if you know what I mean. Like if you have some mild form of not mild, but any kind of mental illness or anything different. I hate to use the word different. Like you're taking that information different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it'll probably it could like affect them more.
Yeah, like we might know. Okay, yeah, that's wrong, but they might think, oh, kill someone for money.
It's pretty good.
Oh my god, that's a good idea. Let's go outside and do that right now.
I can do that easy.
You know what? I'll go to school and I'll bring my dad's gun and we can kill everyone. They'll respawn the next day.
Yeah, man, it'll be all great fun.
Yeah, and I mean it's but you can never know what their mindset's like, because even with like the Stoneman Douglas shooting, the guy was like, I heard voices in my head, and Trump was like, the reason the Stoneman Douglas high school shooting happened was because the guy played video games and stuff. But then
they had that interview with
the
other guy, and he was like, nah,
it's
fine.
He was like, I play Call of Duty.
I play a lot of bad games.
I play a lot of Call of Duty, and I never dream about shooting my peers.
I never imagine him just killing people.
Yeah, like you said, it depends on the person, isn't it?
It depends how they... But the thing is, it's like video games cause violence and school shootings, but, you know, everyone plays video games and violence games.
Yeah.
So surely there would be more... what you call it?
Like more...
I can't think of the word. More like violence from youth.
Yeah.
But like, I think the Secret Service did a report that, you know, only 12% of people who've like violent youths who have done something serious and significant, like a high school shooting, it's like only 12% of them played video games.
So guys, when like, how do you think like these younger generations, like, how do you think they're influenced? Like, how do we see it, and how do the younger generation see it? Do you think we're under...
I think it comes down to like, again...
Because like...
I think like parents are just... I think they're just giving out their kids like more violent games now.
Yeah, because everyone else has it. Like,
yeah.
Can we talk about how
like
the word decentralizes,
yeah.
Yeah, what's this word? Desensitization? Something like that.
Decentralization.
No, I wrote it down. See, look.
Decentralization.
That is it, isn't it?
Decentralization. It says decentralization. Decentralization, that is what it says.
No, that's not what it says.
What is it then?
I heard Tom say it somehow.
You're talking about the thing where it's like...
We're on live and you want to fucking tell me how to spell out a word.
No, I'm telling you, fam, is that...
It's
that's what he's saying.
Decentralization.
Chill, fam.
Alright, we'll fucking restart. Well, we'll keep recording.
Don't fucking swear, fam.
We'll
cut this
resume in
out.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, but it's like... You know, how they input, like, how is a game advertised? Do you know what I mean?
It's
like,
through that decentralization. It's through that. So, basically, it's, for us, I think, like, it's happened with us, the like, decentralized...
Thing is, because...
They decentralized us, like, basically, because, you know, we have seen it, like, too much. We've seen it. We played, like, games for too much that... It's like part of like our life. We think it's normal because we always see it like in movies and
yeah, we get used to it because like when we just like we watch movies and there's like something just really messed up happens. Like,
but if we still watch it, what can that influence our younger generation?
Yeah, and the thing is,
if we're all right with it, if we're calm, if we're blessed with it,
they're starting to be showing violent stuff. More younger now, like.
And the thing is, it's through YouTube and adverts. So
yeah.
It's not like, oh yeah, like I think YouTubers should say, like, I know whether like if your YouTube video is rated 18, then it's kind of like separated, so you have to have a confirmed age YouTube account to watch it. Like you can't be a guest or under 18. But like even then, like you just be watching some.
There's still stuff on there that isn't 18, and you can just watch it, and it's like bad.
Like you could be watching something like Minecraft or you know anything like that, and you could get a Call of Duty advert or something like that, and it's like killing people. I mean, Minecraft's a bit different because it's more kid friendly.
Yeah, it's more just less gory. It's not gonna go. It's
quite literally pixelated.
Yeah, it's like I don't think there's any blood in it at all.
Yeah,
and then you got like. For like the older, you got like Dark Souls because that's like really difficult, and you know it could just make people because the difficulty just makes people more angry, and I could see like it just changes someone.
Yeah, like even then I'd go to like FIFA, because like FIFA's what's it rated, like a 3, 6,
7, I think.
7.
It has no violence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then you see people, they lose a game and they
They just lose it.
they throw the controller through the TV. So is it really? I mean, I suppose it's still violence.
Probably ask them out or pick that from their relatives, family relatives, like someone, if they see someone playing it, and that can influence them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
But the problem is it comes down to what video games, can't speak. What video games like do, because they release fucking what?
Yo,
I don't get what
fucking you know, we did reviews. We got reviews and that. It's still
Yeah.
in my computer, so we're gonna talk about the reviews. That's what you said in the running order.
Oh, did you not print them off or nothing, or read them
Did not
down?
take a
We
picture.
went in the computer room.
But we said this. Get everything you want to talk about there ready.
Yeah, but we did this like last.
No,
lesson.
don't pause it. We'll just cut it out.
We did this like last lesson. That's what.
What, in the library?
Bro,
Oh.
like that lesson, the lesson before that.
What I'm saying with that piece of paper is leave it on the floor so you can read it, because you can hear the.
Yeah, I know. The next ones we've got to talk about catharsis, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we have these reviews and like talk about the ratings of popularity, talk about the.
Yeah, see, that's the word. Decentralization. You see it?
Do you have the thing? I was looking for that.
Yeah, it was in my book.
Fam, I was looking for that. I was meant to write all of this down in the running order.
Yeah. Well, we're fucking committed. Let's continue.
Sakes, man.
Alright, yeah, you ready?
Is it countdown?
This is gonna be short, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to cut it all out, but we can talk. Because we've been going for like a good 15 minutes at least.
No, it's been like 10 minutes
even though if you cut it
without
out,
the
it's still gonna
stuff.
be short.
Yeah, then we'll keep talking for the next half an hour.
I accidentally swore at the start, so I'm gonna have to.
Beep it out.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna continue, yeah? 3. I can't even remember what we were saying.
Where were we at?
Alright.
Well, I think it was like FIFA.
Yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's the thing with FIFA. Like any video game, it releases like that chemical in your brain, which like makes you feel happy or whatever. I don't
I forgot
know.
what the word was, but like
Yeah,
I
it
know.
makes them feel happy, and then like they lose that feeling, like they can lose it like that, and then
when
they just
lose, yeah.
yeah, and then they just like that
They just
feeling
get angry.
that feeling of happiness goes
Frustrated.
away, and it's like all the rage is unleashed. Because I suppose like how people like there's a balance, like you can only push something as much as it can push back.
And there's the problem, like, because when you start like raging at a game, you could be like harming people or breaking stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's probably the biggest problem.
Yeah, it's like I do think it's definitely like if like with the thing of like if you push something, like you can only push something as hard as it can push back type thing. So it's like it makes you happy playing that game, but it was really happy playing that game, but it can make you equally as
Angry.
and anger leading to then violence.
So then we're on about the catharsis or whatever.
Catharsis.
Yeah. About like just the fact that,
What do you think that means?
it means like just when you're just angry at something else, and then you're just angry and you're just stressed, and then you go to like release that anger and stress in like a game. You'd be like GTA or something, or like killing people instead of doing it in like real life.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, I thought you didn't know it,
But then
I thought, you got it.
No,
Spoiled.
I read this thing from this psychological group that they reported that 90% of children in the United States play video games.
Yeah.
That's a big number, and then their ages range from 12 to 17. Don't whisper, just say it, because we cut it out. You whisper and we can't use the footage anymore.
This is
Yeah, but
messed up
we were
one.
talking about catharsis, then you were talking about percentage. So we need to stick to the topic.
Alright, my bad. But I'll just continue with that, innit?
Yeah, but like next time we know.
Alright,
we need to stick to the topic.
resuming.
We're gonna be marked on that.
Yeah, I know, resuming. Yeah, so what? Ages 12 to 17 playing games, and then that rose to 90. That was like in 2015.
Basically, it says it's releasing tension and anger in a safe environment.
I suppose, yeah, because they're in the sanctity, I think the word is, of their own home. So it's like if they get angry, yeah, they can be angry in their home where their family.
like,
it's a controlled environment.
Instead of being in the open, like public.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really think we should be playing those games in the public.
Especially works with games, this method, and it actually helps some people to actually release tension. They become less violent after they do this. After
they throw their controller through the
yeah,
TV.
Yeah. That's how you lose it.
after they go through the process.
It's like the build up and then the release.
Yeah.
And then the regret.
They're non-violent. They're alright.
I mean, of course, yeah.
And then the regret because they just broke something.
But then it builds back up, doesn't it? That like I think the game it gives you like games. They give you happiness, but then in that happiness, during that whole phase of happiness, it's building up anger.
Yeah.
And then when you're no longer happy, you're angry. So you just it's like a volcano.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know in 2015 the report was 90% of children in America aged 12 to 17 played video games, and then in 2018 that number rose to 95%.
Yeah, so they're getting more increased.
So 95% of children play video games, and they blame video games for the violence in youth, like serious violence, like robberies and stuff like that. Compared to how the Secret Service reported that it's only 12% of kids that are violent. So it's like, are they really? Is video games really the violence? Because then surely 95% of kids would be violent if that was the case.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like video games make kids violent. So why is only 12% of kids who play video games like being aggressively violent in the real world?
Nah, but if
where's
you think
the
about
other?
It like this, that 12%, yeah, they can individually come like murderers, like killers that can like kill up to 100. That's like one killer per 100. So if you think about that, if you think into the future, they can become like that dangerous. That's the thing.
It's like 12%.
That's why you think about it now when they're just as a kid. You don't want to think about how.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Like adult.
No, but it's if you had 100 kids who did really violent things like school shootings, robberies, stuff like that, only 12 of them played video games. Only 12. So that's another like 88 people that didn't play video games and did something extremely violent. Like they were getting blamed for video games, but the statistics say they don't play them.
Yeah, I feel like that's just an excuse.
It is just an excuse because they're like there's something wrong with that. I'd blame it on the education system personally.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I don't think they know like the personal life they probably go through.
Yeah, like I know, like I keep going back to school shootings, but they're like the violence.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know, like with Columbine in like 1998 or whatever, it was like those kids, they got bullied by everyone. So of course, and then playing video games, like it's like a special. I think it's like a special mixture or a special environment that requires a kid to get into that mindset to think it's acceptable to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then they have that experiment with the Bobo dolls.
I didn't actually hear about that one.
That's the one where like they put a bunch of kids in front of a TV, and they show like a clip of like someone there's like a doll. It's like the big clown. Yeah. The Bobo doll. Yeah.
Bobo.
They show like one clip of a guy like being nice to it for a bunch of kids, and then there's another clip where they show someone being really aggressive and start like punching them. So like, and then after the videos ended, they put the kids like
in the same environment.
Yeah, and then they showed like a bunch of them started beating it up. So like, it shows like
But I suppose that would come down to like, yeah, okay, yeah, they're more susceptible to what they see on TV. But it's like they receive it's what information they most recently received. Like, and you're nice to a doll, and then you see someone beating up a doll. But that's the most recent information they've been given, and they're kids, so like, you know.
Because like then again, though, because like I don't think if it was like a real person instead of a doll, I don't think they would do that still.
Yeah.
I think they're aware that it's just a harmless doll.
Yeah, that's why they might have thought it was. That's why they might have thought it was acceptable to do it to the doll in that experiment, because it's not a real person. But again, it's like what happens next time.
You gotta think about they gave those little children like equipment to use.
Did they?
Gave them like guns and hammers and stuff like that.
Did they?
Did.
I thought they just gave it his bare hands.
Nah, there was like hammers and stuff like that. I'm being dead serious.
There was.
I saw it.
I think they might have.
I mean, I suppose you could make the kids more susceptible if you gave them weapons. I mean,
they just showed them the weapons
tools,
and they wanted to see what would they use with them.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They put them down on a table, and they were just looking at them.
But the thing is, they might look at someone having a knife and stabbing this doll, and they'll be like, oh, that looks cool. I want to use the knife now. I want to stab this doll, or I want to stab this person.
About it. Can like, not in like video games and movies as well. When they do see violence, do you think that can influence the younger generation? Like literally.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like
not just video games, but movies as well.
Yeah,
like,
as well as movies.
You have games like John Wick.
As realistic as it can be, like John Wick and stuff like that. Yeah, that can influence them to be like that.
That shows. I mean, yeah, it's more kind of vigilante, but that like with movies like that, it shows people running around actively killing, not necessarily innocent people, but killing people.
Yeah.
And they do it, and they get away with it. They don't get arrested, so they're like, well, the police aren't taking them away from it. So clearly, if in a movie they see someone do a bad thing and get arrested, yeah. But in a movie, if they see someone do a bad thing and the police don't do anything, it's like, well, the police only they're taught the police arrest bad people. Mm. So, he's doing this thing. Clearly it's not bad, because if it was bad, the police would do something about it. The police would arrest him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's again, it comes down to how information is perceived. How, like, they wanna take in that information.
So...
What do you think about that? Advertising styles that they use?
I think they forget, like, yeah, they're advertising for a market, but I think they forget that other kids see that stuff. I mean,
yeah, like they still normally show that during day. Like,
of course they won't advertise violent games on like the Disney Channel.
Yeah, obviously. But
I can't think of any other TV shows. I don't watch TV. I'm like.
I remember just like walking past like the TV, and I would normally just see like a COD ad.
Yeah, like Blackout.
Yeah, I remember that.
People shooting at a helicopter and it blowing up.
I mean, through advertising, I think like, if they did get a game for Christmas or something, and they started to play it and they started to like it, like then seeing adverts for a next for another game that's relevant to the games they played, they could like, not only do they want the game, but they'll see like, wait, can we actually. Cut that. Cut from when I spoke. Thank you, Rhayhadul from the future.
Alright, alright, we're starting in 3, 2.
Hey, we say first.
Wait,
shut up.
We're gonna start.
I'm gonna read some quotes from shit. Yeah, right. Restarting in 3, 2, 1. So, I have some quotes from Trump when the Stoneman Douglas shooting happened, and it said, more and more people saying that the level of violence on video games is, I can't read my own handwriting, freely shaping young people's thoughts. And then you go the step further, and that's movies. You see these movies, they're so violent, and yet a kid is able to see the movie if sex isn't involved.
What?
Like you have a movie with blood, gore, and violence, and a kid is able to see that, yeah? They're able to go to the cinema and watch that.
They can see. No, kids can't. They have to be under supervision if they have.
Yeah, but like, I mean in like general sense, but if, there's a sex scene in that, the kid isn't allowed to see it. Like, I think like in terms of adult like scenes and stuff like that, and adult like footage. I don't know. I can't think of any way to say it. That should be treated as equally as violent, because you won't get a kid to play like a sex game on like the Xbox, but you'll let them play Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Kind of, yeah.
And if you think about it like this, I've heard out somewhere that you're not allowed to shoot guns until you're 18. Or it's like join the army till you're 18, but you can play. You're allowed to. So you're allowed to join the army when you're 16, but you're not allowed to buy COD from the shops when you're 18. When you're in the army and like cadets and that, they teach you how to like train with guns, but you're still.
But then I guess because that's just because you're doing the job.
Yeah, I suppose. But
you gotta think about that, because it's stupid. Because like games. People, they'll think like, because since it's a game, it's not real. Yeah, that most like people will complain. They think that it's not real. So
it's like you think it's acceptable to put a kid or a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old into a real life or death situation.
But then just go through like virtual.
They want to see that stuff virtually. Nope, you gotta be 18.
You gotta be older, man.
Like it's like you can say I've actually had to kill people, for my country and stuff. But I want to play Call of Duty. No, I gotta wait an extra 6 months. You know what I mean?
Gotta wait a few days.
Gotta wait a couple of weeks. Like, that's just stupid.
It is a bit dumb.
It's like, how can you think it's acceptable to, like, they're like, oh yeah, video games, they're so realistic now, but you're willing to put a kid into a real situation over
in war,
an imaginary situation. It's just the ratings, they're there for a reason, but it's like they're just rated because they have to rate everything equally.
Yeah.
Like, I know Advanced Warfare got dropped down to a 16 from an 18 because instead of having blood, they changed everything to like yellow. They had paintball mode.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So like, it wasn't killing, it was a big game of paintball. With
it was Advanced Warfare.
When?
Call of Duty.
There was an option where you could, instead of blood, you could just do.
You changed it to yellow paint, so instead of showing like a blood splatter, it would show like a yellow paint splatter.
Swear. Is that what they actually did?
And that's why I got rated as 16, because it's like, of course it's still running around shooting people, but it's.
And they do that in a lot of games. No.
Yeah, it's because it. I mean, it's the same.
This is the first time I've heard this, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's. I suppose it appeals to a wider audience.
I think it appeals to people, gamers, to be honest, because like, I don't really play games, but I don't know that. But I have played like stuff like popular stuff like GTA and stuff like that. But no, like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, that's not as popular as Black Ops, but I know what they are. But
I think they did that in Black Ops.
I've never heard about you can change it to paint.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
You can't like. I didn't know that you could change the paint, so I think it's just.
Yeah, no, I think
people who are into the games, they know this, so they can't.
But I mean, companies doing little things like that to change the blood to like yellow to paintball to make it less. I mean, of course, it's still violent.
You still got like the other stuff.
It's
not that they have like that zombies mode.
That's pretty.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty like. It's again, how would you perceive that? Like oh yeah, someone's running at me. I need to shoot them type thing.
Yeah.
It's just a bit weird, and then, But then Trump's quotes about like the video games causing kids to be violent in movies and stuff. It's like they were dismissed because the guy we mentioned him earlier. His name was Chris Grady. He was a survivor of the Stoneman Douglas shooting, and he said, "I grew up playing video games, first-person shooters, and I would never dream of taking the lives of my peers."
I mean, yeah.
That's saying, oh yeah, this guy played video games. That's why he did it.
Who said that?
A guy called Chris Grady. He
was in the
school. Like you remember Stoneman Douglas, the shooting in America last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Trump said the guy did it because he played first-person shooters and violent games. But then one of the survivors turned around.
Wait, was it? He shot. There was a concert.
No, that was
in Vegas. We're on about the school.
It was a school. That one was.
Yeah, but it's like, he's like, yeah, but I did the exact same stuff this guy did, but do I want to walk in and shoot?
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Shoot a load of people?
Yeah, I know.
I get like, it might not be like great because like it's just one person. I mean, it's the other different people. It might affect other people, but like it does kind of show.
Yeah, it comes down to whatever, how people interpret the information and how they've been raised. Like if they're raised with like discipline, of course they're gonna know right from wrong because they'll face regular punishment when they do something wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's normally just dependent
But
on how they're brought up.
Yeah, it's like, but if you let a kid like roam free, kind of thing, like you don't regulate what they do, they go out do whatever they want, like, you know, they think that's acceptable.
I want to like go on about maybe like tournaments in other games. If you ever know, like, say like Mortal Kombat, they go to a place and then they just like play, you know, win. I think there might be money reward.
Yeah.
You do have in professional games.
I think that
I've seen like people getting like proper angry.
Yeah,
so
but
that's basically saying that
you can make money killing people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
playing and doing violent things in violent. Fuck it. In violent things. Games.
We'll cut that part out. Say it again.
Put it under there.
Yeah, we'll cut that part out. Yeah, continue.
I think that's worse.
Oh, just put it back on here, resting on this.
Wait, I think.
No. It was like resting nicely like that.
No, I think if I turn there.
It might make it worse.
There you go.
Right. Restart what you were saying. 3, 2, 1.
Wait, what was I saying?
Talking about the tournaments. And
Yeah, we were talking about tournaments.
And what did I say?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention because you were mumbling.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, yeah, like, you know, you get really good at killing people. You can do it professionally, but I mean, I suppose it all comes down generally. Like, I think it all comes down to how you interpret what is visually shown to you.
It's all that you understand that the violence in games is like
It's not real.
It's not real. It's wrong if you do it for real. Then yeah.
But the thing is, people are like, oh yeah, they should put things in video games to say, yeah, by the way, don't do this in real life. But I don't think they have to because they're rated 18. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no one under 18.
It's like a warning already.
Yeah, it's like no one under 18.
Yeah, I mean, I saw in some ads, they have like before they start the advert, they have like
It's like Peggy 18.
Peggy 18.
And I know with like for example on Sky when I'm watching a movie, it'd say, oh yeah, this film was rated 16 for this. So it tells you.
Kids, they could like, well, say if the kid and the parents' kids are there, and since if they do see the advert, they can like literally change the channel if they want to.
Exactly.
So
do you remember,
can it actually be the parents' fault?
Do you remember that scene in Modern Warfare?
Because the kids.
That COD, Modern Warfare 2, where you'd be in like that airport and you would shoot a bunch of civilians.
Yeah.
It would give you the option to skip it because they warned you before you do it to like this is like tragic. If you want to skip it, you're not really missing out.
No, I don't think you could skip it.
I think you could.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I said before.
So in Modern Warfare 2, there was a mission in the campaign called No Russian.
Yeah.
Where you went to an airport with like loads of guns and hundreds of ammunitions, and you just
gunned down a bunch of people.
You gunned down
like
hundreds and hundreds of civilians, and that was a mission.
I swear I gave you the option to skip it though.
Yeah, but I mean, I think back then, when did Modern Warfare 2 come out? 2006.
I think it was a little bit later.
Cut. Basically, we're meant to know when that came out. Tom's gonna listen to that. Yeah, he's gonna be like, you should be knowing when it comes out. You should be knowing when games comes out, the ratings.
We could just cut that bit out.
Before you start talking again, make sure you have a long pause, because that'll be in editing. That'll be better.
Yeah. Modern Warfare 2 release date?
Here is information about the Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, for fuck's sake. 2009. Alright, restarting in 3.
Wait, hold on. 3, 2, 1, go. Now.
I think I think it was 2000. No, it was 2009. Yeah, no, it was like November 10th.
November 10th.
November 10th or 11th, something like
Yeah.
that. 2009.
Somewhere around there.
So I think society, it's 10 years now since, well, not 10 years exactly, like 9.5 years since.
Yeah, just around there.
That was, and of course that was, I wouldn't say acceptable, but it was frowned upon, but it was acceptable. Now I think if you released a game and you shot hundreds, maybe even 1,000 civilians, your game would get so much criticism. Like
It would, yeah.
Like, for example, Red Dead 2, there's this guy got a load of criticism because he found a woman who was like saying...
Oh, is that
Yeah,
video where he got, like, his YouTube channel got banned because
yeah,
he did
yeah.
a bunch of bad stuff?
There was this in Red Dead 2, there was this woman who was like protesting, saying woman needs rights. And what this guy did was, I think he killed her, he dragged her body
Did he, like, tie
with
him
a
up?
horse, and then he took her
What
to...
was it in Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. He found this woman who was like I think it's like a suffragette or something.
Yeah.
Who was saying women need rights to vote.
Yeah.
And what the guy did was he killed her, like the NPC, and then he dragged her body like through the street, and I think he took it to like the KKK or something, or some cannibals.
No, that was another one.
Yeah,
That was like-
I remember playing it. Yeah, sometimes when you journey through the forest, you can just see the KKK people.
Yeah.
They like, huddle up and they burn a crucifix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I suppose that's. I mean, yeah, KKK. They're horrible
I
people.
suppose they're just trying to do it
But-
because it's
but
like
that-
back
but-
in that day, that's what it was.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
They're doing that environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's again, it comes under it's an 18, so like you if you want to complain about it, or you want to criticize it, it's generally because you're either too young or you're a parent and you've given it to your young kid. Like I know a parent was saying this game's too violent. I gave it to my younger son, and it's just. He's picked up so many bad habits, and it's like, how old is your son? And they're like, oh, he's like 14. The game's rated 18. Why?
Should be having it.
Why are you
Why are you doing
complaining
that?
about giving him a game which professional people have said it is not suitable for anyone below this age, and they've said it's not suitable for him, and now you're complaining that it's not suitable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, cut. What?
What?
What's the time?
26 past. We'll go for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, because
What time
like
is it?
some of that's just
The
No. The time. How long have you been?
37
minutes.
37.
Yeah, so we'll go for like another 10 minutes, and then we'll have about 30 minutes of footage or of audio.
some of that. Some of
Yeah,
that's.
Right. 3, 2, 1.
It's just like, what do you expect? Oh yeah, I gave my son a game that wasn't suitable
It's not
for him.
for a younger audience, and then
It wasn't
you're just
suit-
complaining.
It wasn't suitable for him, and now I don't like it. I've given him this game, but it's not suitable for him. Take it off. Stop selling it. Your kid's not legally allowed to buy it, so why are you complaining? It's like stuff like that. It's like, how can you complain when your kid is legally not allowed to play it, but then when you let him play it, you complain.
I know, it's stupid.
That's
It's
just
like, why?
people like that. Like, I don't understand people like that. No, it's too violent. Shouldn't let you play it. Well,
I don't
let
get
him.
it.
It's too violent. He's not. He shouldn't. They shouldn't be allowed to do this. Well, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. They know. You don't run around and kill people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you give it to a little kid, and you're like, that's not suitable. Yeah, it's. And they're like, oh, it's not suitable for him. Then, yeah, we know it's not suitable. Don't give him the damn game. Just like people dig themselves holes. It's like they do stuff which they're not meant to, or they're advised highly not to do, and then they do it and they complain. They complain about the exact things they were warned about if they did do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, how can you complain that this game lets you do this, and this, and your 14-year-old son is doing this, and you want to complain about what he's doing in this game, and you're saying it's not suitable for him, but the game's rated 18, so he shouldn't even be playing it. How can you argue that? You know what I mean? It's not suitable for him. It's just.
I mean, like,
And that there's hundreds of cases, probably even thousands of cases, where the kid is too young to play the game, the parent has bought him the game, and then the parent complains about the game and what their kid is able to do in it. Society.
I'm trying to think of because like I know like
Cut.
we doing.
If you don't have nothing to say in it, though.
I was gonna say something.
Yeah, but I know you're
I was legit
stuff.
just about to say something.
Yeah,
You
you're
just
allowed to
touched
say
on it.
like, oh, what was it? Oh, yeah, this.
Yeah.
Alright. You got what you're saying,
I
yeah?
forgot now.
Have you forgotten?
Yes.
No way.
We just
Think-
finished
think
talking
you
about
forget-
parents
forget.
giving games and aren't fucking.
No, I know
suited
what
for
you're
their
talking
kids.
about, but like, I forgot what I was gonna talk about.
All right, you ready?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Perfectly.
Yes. Right, ready in
Oh, wait.
3,
3.
2, 1.
Alright, so there was a game made in America
Yeah.
for teachers. It was a game about a shooting, so that they could teach the teachers like what to do when a shooting happens.
What?
Oh, what was it? That troll game that was released on Steam, Active Shooters or something, where you had the choice to either be a kid in a high school shooting or the high school shooter.
No, it was a different one. It was like a proper educational one.
Yeah.
And it was like just because for some reason, I mean, I guess I can understand, they made it so like you could play as the shooter or the kids or the teachers. So I guess like, I mean, it's kind of weird that you just made that happen, but like I guess you could.
But why
Makes sense,
why would you
just
want a
to-
game? I think you'd rather want to get actual firearm certificates and trainings and actual like this each school will have like their own protocols and like
Yeah.
lockdowns.
Yeah, but then a lot of people, I think a lot of people say that they don't want teachers to have guns because it's like it's at school, not like a.
There have been cases where like a kid's pulled a gun in
Yeah.
a school and the teacher shot
A
him.
couple of stories about that.
Yeah, there was a few. But like, a lot of people just talk about how, just that they don't want, because the whole thing, like the people like, oh, you should have a gun. You should have a gun. It's for self-defense. But then it's like, and then other people are like, no, it's not. Can't be having that.
It's like what is it? Do people kill people or do guns kill people?
It's just people, man.
People kill people. Guns don't kill people. They say, oh yeah, we'll get rid of the guns. We'll get rid of the games.
The guns
Killing's
are
been
there.
happening.
The guns are just. They're there just for people to sell them. It's what
But
action
it's
the human makes.
it's
a
America
human-
though. Like they've got their constitution and they're like the Second Amendment, which says they're allowed to bear arms and defend themselves against
Yeah.
any intruder and or government who violates their rights. So it's like.
But then that just like kind of gets abused.
Yeah, no, that gets abused so much, but that's a story for a different day. Maybe we should talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Why the problem with American politics and the Constitution, but I think we'd get slammed by a lot of people for that.
Yeah. So I think
So my final question to you two is: Do you think that video games make younger kids, aged from 12 onwards, do video games rated 18, 16, 15, do they make them more violent? And why? Why do you think that?
I don't think it makes them violent, but however, I do think it could change their personality.
Like how they think, like how they their response to stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get, because I feel like it, if it was just a happy person, then just plays a violent game for a long time,
It kind of
it could
leeches
it could change,
yeah, kind of.
but I don't think it makes them proper violent.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I think that's just an excuse, just to say oh, he played COD. No.
Yeah. All right, Rhayhadul, and you?
What was it?
Do you think that video games aged 15, 18, 16, stuff like that, do you think they make kids that 12 years onwards, do you think those games make them violent, more aggressive, more violent tendencies?
I think that. Yeah. My point of view, yeah. Well, basically, what I'm saying is that it really actually has to depend on the type of the
Type of
type
game.
of personality your child is. Like for a child, sorry. If they're like, I don't want to be rude, but if they're mentally capable, like be able to know.
Mentally handicapped in any.
If they're mentally able to know the difference, like, you know.
Yeah, if they're mentally
Yeah.
capable, then
Yeah, like they should wait.
you know, I agree.
I get what you're saying.
I think if a kid has like mental handicap, very like minimal or severe, and they play these violent games, they won't interpret it like the rest of society. And I don't mean to separate them from society, but you know, like us three here, we can play like GTA or something. Yeah, I'm not old enough, but you know, I know not to run people over or shoot people for money, etc., etc. But you know, someone who's like less mental, like they've got a like they might be 17 or something, but they might have like a younger mental age. They'll take it in differently.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, because referring back to the statistics I mentioned, only 12% of kids who've done severely violent acts play video games. So what about the other 88%? The other 88% don't play video games, so why are they doing it?
Yeah, that was my thought exactly. What do you think about it, Bradley?
I think it comes down to how they interpret the information. Like, you know, it's like with you said about the what were they called, the dolls,
The Bobo dolls.
the Bobo dolls. It's like that. Like, you know, they see two different things, and it's whichever one they interpret, like how they interpret it, whichever one appeals to their mindset. Like, you know, kids are very restless. Like they'll be up all night and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Especially now.
Yeah, like they won't sleep and stuff. So, like, you know, do they want to sit there and play with a doll, or like, you know, stab it? Because it's different. So, like, you know, kids, they're always naughty because they don't want to do as they're told.
They want to do their own thing. Really,
Yeah, exactly.
mostly.
So, like, referring back to the dolls, they see, yeah, you got to be nice to people. You know what I mean? And they're being nice to this doll, but oh yeah, they're just so nice. We can do horrible things to this doll. Let's do it, because, you know, we're not normally allowed to do it. So it's like the temptation.
So I think that concludes.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap, guys.
So that concludes.
We've got to do that intro again now, because you had to whisper. Your whispering doesn't help us because we can't hear you.
Alright. Let's leave a message to the future. Alright, guys. Your ride will cut this part, yeah? Cut this part.
Yeah. All right. Say that again.
Alright, so I think that concludes.
Yeah,
Let's start again. Let's start silent, then do it, because like, it's
Do a
gonna
countdown.
sound weird
All
when
right,
you
I'll do a
cut.
countdown, and then Elliot will say your thing. All right.
Shall
3, 2, 1.
So I think that concludes on the podcast.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap, guys.
Yeah, guys. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. On
Yeah,
what we should
tweet
talk
us
about
with any things you want to talk about. And thank you for tuning into this episode of
Acapella.
Acapella.
Acapella. I almost butchered the name right there.
Peace.
Don't roast me.
Rhayhadul signing out.